Bow hunting all comes down to a moment. And in the moment, you want equipment on your bow that will get the job done. Trophy Ridge products are the tools bow hunters trust. React Technology sights, rests, stabilizers, and quivers to help a bow hunter be successful in the field. And those tools are from Trophy Ridge.
Hey guys, this is Melissa Bachman. Are you ready to stop spooking deer before it's even time to hunt them? Then you need the new Flex S Dark cellular trail camera from SpyPoint. With a no-glow flash option, long-lasting solar power, and a ton of settings that can be changed anytime through the SpyPoint app, there are no more excuses for letting your deer get wise before the season even starts. So check it out for yourself and see why the SpyPoint Flex S Dark is the unstoppable and undetectable scouting tool you need for your next hunt.
Howdy folks, and welcome to the Hunting Stories podcast, The Hunter's Brief, where we keep you up to date on the stories, history, and policies that shape the world of hunting and fishing. Today's episode is going to be a little bit different. I'm in the Elk Woods, so I'm having to prepare this a little bit ahead of time, and I cannot get articles put together, find out what's happened this week, because I spent the entire week in the woods and am hopefully still there. Instead of breaking news, I want to take about 10 minutes to highlight two of the most important laws in American conservation history: the Pittman-Robertson Act and the Dingell-Johnson Act. If you're a hunter or an angler in the United States, these acts have shaped your experience more than you might realize. They're the backbone of modern conservation funding, and without them, hunting and fishing as we know them would likely look very different. Let's start with the Pittman-Robertson Act, officially known as the Federal Aid in Wildlife Restoration Act of 1937. This law came out of a time when America's wildlife was in real trouble. By the early 1900s, unregulated hunting, market hunting, and habitat loss had driven many species to dangerously low numbers. Deer, turkey, waterfowl, and countless other animals were scarce compared to today. Hunters, yes, hunters themselves, recognized the problem and pushed for change. Two key lawmakers, Nevada Senator Key Pittman and Virginia Congressman Albasolm Robertson, sponsored the bill, and President Franklin Delano Roosevelt signed it into law in 1937. Here's what it did. It placed an excise tax, basically a built-in fee on firearms and ammunition. That money didn't just disappear into the general budget. Instead, it was earmarked specifically for wildlife conservation. The funds were distributed to states based on the size of the state and how many licensed hunters that they actually had registering in each state. Since then, the act has been expanded to cover archery equipment and handguns, as well as a percentage of related gear. Over the decades, billions of dollars have gone back to states for wildlife restoration, hunter education, shooting ranges, and habitat projects. Because of Pittman-Robertson, we've seen game populations rebound dramatically. White-tailed deer, wild turkey, waterfowl, elk, all of them came roaring back thanks to better habitat management funded by this program. It's a prime example of hunters paying directly for conservation. Running an outdoor business is a grind. One day you're glassing ridgelines or running dogs, the next you're tuning gear or working to keep the land wild. And somewhere in between, you're expected to fill calendars, move product, and keep your name alive. That's where the Ignite Marketing Group comes in. They work with outfitters, gear brands, and conservation groups to tell your story the way it deserves to be told, and to put it in front of the people who live for this lifestyle. Imagine a website that doesn't just sit there, but actually books hunts. Imagine campaigns that don't feel like ads, but like a buddy passing along a tip. Imagine your story reaching more hunters, anglers, and outdoor enthusiasts who get it and who want it. That's what Ignite does. No gimmicks, no flash, just real growth for people who belong in the outdoors. Don't just market, ignite it. Learn more at ignitemarketinggp.com/outdoors. Now let's shift to the anglers. In 1950, a similar idea was put into play with the Dingell-Johnson Act, officially called the Federal Aid in Sports Fish Restoration Act. This one was championed by Congressman John Dingell from Michigan and Senator Edwin Johnson from Colorado. Just like hunters in the 1930s, anglers recognized that fish populations and aquatic habitats needed better management and restoration. The law put an excess tax on fishing equipment, so rods, reels, lures, tackle boxes, and eventually expanded to including motorboat fuel and other gear. Just like Pittman-Robertson, the money is funneled back to the states. That funding has been huge. It pays for fish hatcheries, habitat restoration projects, boat ramps, access areas, aquatic education, and even stocking programs that help keep our lakes and rivers healthy and productive. If you've ever launched a boat at a public ramp or caught a stocked trout in your local stream or seen a wetland restoration project, there's a good chance Dingell Johnson dollars made that possible. So what does this mean for us, the people out in the woods and on the water? First, these laws created a self-sustaining cycle. Hunters and anglers buy gear. That gear is taxed, and the money goes right back to ensuring healthy wildlife and better access. It's a user pays, owner benefits system, and it's one of the most successful conservation models in the world. Second, it proves that hunters and anglers are true conservationists. Every time we buy a box of ammo or a new fishing rod, we're investing in the future of the outdoors. That's something that we can be proud of. Third, the sheer scale is incredible. Since the creation of Pittman Robertson and Dingell Johnson together, they have generated tens of billions of dollars for conservation. They've supported state wildlife agencies, protected millions of acres of habitat, built thousands of public access sites, and restored species that were once on the brink. And it's not just hunters and anglers who benefit. Bird watchers, hikers, kayakers, and anyone who enjoys the outdoors all benefit from the healthy ecosystem these programs help maintain.
Join us at a Friends of NRA event where freedom, fun, and firearms come together like nowhere else. With more than 600 events held across the country, there's always one happening near you. From exciting games to exclusive auctions featuring one-of-a-kind firearms and gear you won't find anywhere else. Whether you're a lifelong hunter, a competitive shooter, or simply passionate about defending freedom, there is a seat for you. Visit friendsofnra.org to find an event near you and get ready for a night you won't forget.
In today's world, where funding for conservation is always a challenge, these acts remain critical. They are consistent, dependable, and based on philosophy of responsibility. That said, there are always conversations about how these funds are used, whether they should be expanded or how to adapt to changes in outdoor recreation. For example, some have suggested adding similar excise taxes to outdoor gear like backpacks, tents, or binoculars to spread the responsibility beyond just hunters and anglers. But at their core, Pittman Robertson and Dingell Johnson remind us that outdoor traditions we enjoy today didn't just come by chance. They were a result of smart policies, cooperation, and a commitment to give back. So the next time you're glassing a ridgeline for elk, calling it a gobbler, or casting a line into your favorite bass lake, remember, Pittman Robertson and Dingell Johnson are working in the background. They've been protecting, funding, and restoring the wild for nearly a century. Hunters and anglers aren't just participants, we're the backbone of conservation in America. That's it for this week's Hunter's Brief. If you found this episode useful, share it with a buddy who loves the outdoors, and always stay safe out there, enjoy the hunt, and respect the resource.